Hello, podcast listeners. We know podcasts are a great way to catch up on a program that you may have missed on KSJE, and it's provided as a free service of this radio station. But you know, KSJE is now listener-supported, and so while you enjoy this podcast, we hope that you'll also take some time to join KSJE. Become a member today. It's quite easy to do. Just go to our website at ksje.com/support and pick the level of support that best matches your budget. Thanks again for listening. Here's your podcast. Continuing our interviews with some of the candidates who are running in the upcoming city elections in November, I am joined by Brett Lanier. He is running for Aztec City Commission in District 5. Thanks for coming in. Welcome to KSJE.
Thanks, sir. It's an honor to be here, and I'm very excited for this opportunity.
You are throwing your hat into the ring for politics, right? This is your first election?
I am. This is my first election, and just want to answer that visceral calling of leadership and giving back to our community.
Very good. Well, tell me a little bit about you. You were born and raised in Aztec, you were telling me.
Yes, sir. Born and raised in Aztec. Graduated in 2007 from Aztec High School. Right after that, I went to the oil field, and then was at Salmon Coal Mine for, I believe, 14 years.
Gotcha.
And then now I'm worked back in the oil field, and here I am.
Here you are.
In the politics realm.
Okay, got it. And what made you decide to run for office, I guess, this year?
We had a family reunion about 2 years ago, and my cousin Steve Lanier, he had announced that he was wanting to go for the Senate for New Mexico. And that really inspired me to answer that internal calling of leadership and going out and helping the people. So I decided about 1.5 years, 2 years ago that I wanted to do it.
Okay. All right. Very good. Right. You have relatives at the state level and on the county commission too,
correct? That is correct, yes.
So there is that. So let's talk about the issues in this campaign. What are some of the things that you see that you would like to deal with in running for city commission? And if you get elected to the city commission, what would you like to see either fixed or improved or maintained for the city of Aztec? Or things that are working that you'd want to see keep going?
Yeah. So right off the bat, a lot of the Aztec citizens, they feel it and see it first and foremost as our utility bills. That's been the hot topic. Several months back, I was at one of the commissioner meetings, and they had voted to raise the rates, and that was something that we're all feeling now. And it's not just a slight increase; it's quite the increase. I've had neighbors; they're saying there's 50% increase on their bills. Others feel like it's about doubled, but regardless, it's an increase that's considerable. And that's one issue I want to see addressed and fixed, since we have the solar field, we want to become their own utility in that regard, and I don't think it's right to impact the citizens the way it's been impacted. I think a lot of people in Aztec, there's fixed incomes, and of course the hardworking families, we all feel that, and it's not a good thing when right now in these days we're taxed more than what I think we should be, but also like our utilities, they're going up unexpectedly. So that's one of the main issues.
Sure. And you're talking, pardon me, I just want to get a little more specific on the electric mostly, or water too, or what are the issues, the utilities specifically that you're talking about?
Electric.
Okay.
Electric utilities.
Got it.
And then infrastructure as a whole, it's an aging infrastructure, and I would like to see I call it PM from my coal mining days, preventive maintenance.
Okay.
And that's where you just take old components and you just change them out. And by preventive maintenance, it's more cost effective. It's a wiser use of taxpayer money instead of waiting till something breaks and being reactive. And that's when you're spending considerably more amount of money. So infrastructure is a big long-term, short-term component that I think needs to be seriously addressed. I've talked with some of the head of departments, and they have plenty of capital projects that they're waiting on direction. Mm-hmm. And I want to help show that direction and improve that direction for the good of Aztec and the way our money is spent.
Gotcha.
Another thing, obviously economic development, all that good stuff that every candidate seems to say, which is great. It's great intentions. For me, and basically my platform that I see is important is leadership. I want to bring back that servant leadership for the people, and I want to be a part of a commission that we can work together, bringing the leadership together. And when you have that, I believe that's where your components, your community economic developer, Andrew, he can do his things being best advised by a group of leaders. your head of departments for public works, electrical departments, they can do their jobs and be guided and directed by a group of strong leadership. And that's where I want to first start off, and then we can address all our issues from there in a very positive way, uplifting way, where everybody's happy instead of disgruntled or people show up just for a paycheck. I don't want to see that. I want to see happy, uplifted employees and where they're thriving. So
Sure, got it. What are some of the things that are working in Aztec? You've lived there all your life, and so there's got to be a reason why you stay, and you're running to be part of the city government to try to have some influence in some of these things. Are there some positive things about the city of Aztec?
There's many positive things. I mean,
give me the short list.
The short list is it's a beautiful place to raise a family, and that's what I'm doing is raising our 2 little kids there. And we actually purchased a piece of farmland off McCoy Street where I want to do farming and have the kids do that. The city as a whole, they have great events. We just recently had the Highland Games, very unique to Aztec, 15 years strong. I wish I competed. I competed in the beginning. All the events, we have the car show event coming up, the little festivals, and that's what makes Aztec unique is those little events. Anytime you drive through Aztec, you can see the Aztec pride of the lions and the medians, which is actually another project that needs to be continued is the median work.
Mm-hmm.
Aztec as a whole, we have the natural ruins, the Aztec ruins.
Right.
Amazing, beautiful place. And we actually just did a National Public Works Day where people can come and volunteer and help put mortar on the bricks and fun stuff like that. We have very unique restaurants. A lot of them are food trailers, Rubio's. Well, now Rubio's. I know it as Rubio's.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing places for food, and the recreational outdoors there's so much. Mountain bike. We have a disc golf there. We have the Tiger Park with the pond. Everybody loves going there. The fish. Great place to take the kids. The beautiful sunsets there, which is actually there's another spot for the sunsets on the arterial road. If you haven't got a chance, get up there, check it out. It's really beautiful, tranquil spot to take your family to.
Okay, at least it is now, until the road opens.
That's right.
Right, because that's another big project that is coming to fruition, I think, after a long wait for a lot of folks are very excited about that. That brings up the topic of transportation. I want to ask you a little bit about that because there's a bit of a controversial issue with the bus service and things like that. Do you have any thoughts on transportation in Aztec and in and out of Aztec for maybe folks who live there that don't have access to a vehicle to try to get around the county? Because we have a pretty big county here.
Yeah, so that's one of my silver linings if I don't get elected. I've gone to the meetings since last year, and I was in as a citizen in those meetings where they talked about the Red Apple Transit. And it's I get it. I understand why the commission did what they voted on, and their seats making those hard decisions. For example,
they said it was expensive, and that was one of the issues I remember from that conversation, right?
That was one of the topics, but the main issue was there was riffraff coming in. It wasn't being utilized by people who truly needed it. So I can understand from their point doing that, making that decision, but also I'm a firm believer in the civic services give to the people. There's a lot of people that rely on that, get to work, need to go to doctors. And going back to the people that's on fixed incomes, they need that stuff. And if I'm elected, I want to work with Farmington and with the county on bringing that back in a safe way and a cost-effective way, because I think it's essential services to us. And yeah, I remember that topic was pretty hot with all the other municipalities.
Right.
So
sure, and you can see both sides. Is what it sounds like to me.
Yes.
And see how important it could be for folks, but also the concerns that the commission had when they made their decision. So
yes.
that's an important thing as well. Moving forward, you are running against, you have one opponent in this race. Do you have anything to say about the differences between the two of you for voters?
I can't say much. We see, at heart, we have the interests of the city of Aztec, and that's what I think is really important. And I want to point out something good on Ken George. He was the only commissioner who voted against having utility rates to be increased. So I commend him for that, and I think that's good. But other than that, my interactions with him have been great. I think he's a great person. And again, I appreciate that he has the heart of my hometown, Aztec, at his interest. So
Gotcha. Fair enough.
I don't know what else to say on it.
I wanted to ask you about him, and that's okay. I also want to go back to the issue of budgets and utilities and things like that. Aztec is a smaller community in San Juan County, of course, and so you've got a smaller tax base and smaller amount of residents, and so maybe can't do as much as other places maybe would like to do, and so that's why maybe some of those increases maybe hit harder in a smaller community. Other things that maybe could be done, I guess, to help maybe offset some of those things. You talk about utility increases and things like that, but then also wanting to replace proactively some of the maybe water sewer lines, and that costs money as well. And so there's got to be kind of a crunch point, I would think, when it comes to budgets, right?
There very much is. And the cool thing on, let's say looking at some of the capital projects for public works, particularly the water treatment plant, they have quite a few things over there that need to be done. Well, this last legislative session, the governor, she was pushing hard for projects that anything around water. And I think going around not having taxpayers' money being spent, we could find those special projects pushed by the governor, for example, or find the grants needed for these projects. And that's how I feel and see we can attack and address those projects. And that way you spend wisely the money that we do have, and not spend as much on our taxpayer money coming in. So
gotcha. Using some state
funds, yes. And as people know, and as I'm starting to hear and learn about, to get more state funds, you got to spend what you have and what you've been given as well. So
right.
And I would like to see that spent wisely with some of the capital projects, which I've seen a list of 20 projects with public works, for example, in the hierarchy of high importance to lower importance, and I think we can knock some of those off in the next year. So
gotcha. Okay. And utilities, again, just going back to the electrical service, I think folks need to be reminded, and they probably know, but that Aztec has its own electric utility. It is somewhat unique, like Farmington in the county, that Aztec has its own, and so it has maybe a bit more control over some of those things, and also maybe less control over some of those bigger increases if they get hit with other things they have to do with that utility that the city owns.
Yes, and so first off, I don't know everything about it. I'll admit that. As of right now, Guzman, I believe, is the one that's running it, and I think their contract renewal
on behalf of the city, kind of thing, right? On
behalf of the city, yes. And their contract is coming up. I'm not sure when. I would like to see them continue running it, because I think there's some, like, say, over the next 3 years, some benefits to that, to both of us, that we can really see, and without affecting our rates, without affecting that stuff, but really hone in the efficiency of that plant running. And then, yes, there are other utilities coming from Farmington, and that's somewhere I want to work those relationships, build those relationships, and see what we can do to help offset costs. And what we can do as a community, when you combine municipalities, you become a regional, and when you become regional, you get more state fund money to do projects instead of using the taxpayer base locally. So, or that's the way I understand it anyways.
Right. But you'd be open to having conversations, I guess, about some of those
very much
relationships, perhaps.
Very much so. Because, quite frankly, born and raised in Aztec, but the whole San Juan County it's home. And we're a small niche community. So I believe those relationships are invaluable, to say the least.
Okay, very good. Final minutes in our conversation this morning, Brett Lanier. Any way that folks can find out more about you or reach out if they have other questions that I haven't asked you this morning? But how do you want folks to reach out to you if they have more questions?
You can find me on Facebook, Brett Lanier, and that's where I've been posting a lot of awesome stuff. I usually post daily here recently. What's cool about Aztec? You can find me there. You can find me on Instagram. I believe it's Brett's Adventures.
Okay.
And then my phone number, 505-488-8541. I sleep by my phones because of my work, so.
You're available.
I'm available.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Fair enough. Appreciate your time this morning. Thank you for talking with me. Good luck with the campaign.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you much.
You're very welcome. That's Brett Lanier. He is running for Aztec City Commission in District 5, my guest this morning here on KSJE. Did you enjoy that podcast? We hope that you did. And if you did, share it with your friends. And if you really want to keep podcasts like this coming, please support KSJE. You can do it easily online at ksje.com.